Hello, good morning, and we're here at the laboratories of SaferGrow in Bonnie, Peterborough. This morning what I'm trying to do is investigate a little bit underneath the radar, if you like, or underneath the skin, to make sure that what SaferGrow say they're going to do, they actually do, in the way of innovation, product choice, enhancement of product. And so one of the most important things we can look at is where they source raw materials, because obviously eventually these go into the products that give that differentiation, if you like. So I'm here this morning with John Blades. John is the technical director for SaferGrow, and I'm just going to again do a little bit of questioning to make sure that I'm happy about raw material sourcing and all this. So thank you very much for your time, John, this morning. One of my interests really is making sure that once a product has been put together, that's the end of it as far as you're concerned, but there is a little bit of preamble before that when it comes to the choice and selection and the raw material basics. So just tell me what you think about and what's in your remit when it comes to choosing raw materials.
One of the main priorities of the raw material is security of supply, and that means that we can get it when we want it. But more importantly is the quality of the raw material. Now, we use raw materials from all over the world. Some of them are proprietary, so we have to get them from a certain supplier, and they are usually accredited to an ISO standard.
Mm-hmm. Just explain that. What do you mean an ISO standard? Is that an industry standard?
Yeah.
Or
ISO 9001 is a standard that is recognised throughout the world with regard to quality. It's a quality standard.
Okay.
We also look further afield to the likes of China and India for some of the materials, and that's maybe a bit more problematical with regard to assuring quality. So generally we audit the material. We get a pre-shipment sample, and we have a look at that with regard to formulation.
Right. Do China and India have to adhere to the ISO 9001? Is that
not necessarily?
Not necessarily. So this means to you that batch sample that you get and test and look at, is that an ongoing thing?
Yeah. If we look at various different suppliers, each supplier we will check out individually. We don't just do one from a country and that's it.
Yeah.
And we'll do various checks on those suppliers. So we'll get a sample in, and it will be taken to our formulation development laboratory, and they will validate whether that material is okay for our product, whether we can make it into the product before it goes on the plant. Along with that testing procedure, we'll send a sample away for heavy metals testing, because quite a lot of these materials are mined, and there's some co-products that you can get with them.
So it's almost like a contamination in a way.
Yes, it's a natural contamination, so they have to refine it. So they take out or try and minimise the level of lead, cadmium, mercury, heavy metals, and iron and zinc and so on. And we send that away to an independent laboratory for analysis.
Okay.
And that forms the filtering out of suppliers for our products.
Okay, so once you've received this sample and the tests are done on that, is there intermittent testing on the bulk material? Given that sample, you give that a tick, then obviously they send the bulk load in for you to make the products with. Do you do independent testing on that, or intermittent?
We will do audit testing, so we'll take a sample from deliveries and send them away for analysis and test them in-house.
Is that every delivery? Is that how frequent?
That won't be every delivery, but we will get certificates of analysis with each delivery.
I'm with you. That's important. So that regularity of the raw materials, that consistency, and not in terms of supply but in terms of quality, are extremely important.
It's critical.
Critical. Yeah. Okay. So that's another loop that we've filled, or we've joined the circle there, in terms of the validation of the raw materials, the source, the purity, and it's interesting, John, that you use outside independent laboratories to verify that as well. So from my perspective, another couple of boxes ticked.